name's Cody Townsend. Got my buddy Matt Maydick here from Aspen and from onX Backcountry, and we're in Lake Tahoe, California. We're up on Donner Pass, and we're going ski touring today. And we're going to show you how we use onX Backcountry to make our day more enjoyable and more safe. So let's get into it. All right, we got moderate, heightened avalanche conditions on specific terrain features. Evaluate snow and terrain carefully. Identify features of concern. I'm going to hit the link. Go in to read a little bit more about it. Bottom line, so we got a lot of warmth right now, and this is reflecting it as such. Decent snow surface refreeze conditions occurred last night on open slopes. Once the superficial crust melts off sun-exposed slopes, wet, loose avalanches could be triggered by backcountry travelers navigating steep terrain. Terrain selection based on slope angles of less than 35 degrees is an easy way to avoid this avalanche problem if you so desire. So I desire to ski steeper than 35 degrees on average, and I think today it's 7 a.m. We did get a decent refreeze. We'll probably be able to, but I think today aspect is going to be really important, and then timing on that aspect.
So we've read the avalanche forecasts, and now we're deciding where to ride. onX Backcountry has been working with Beacon guidebooks, and we just added this Light Tours of Tahoe book into our app with a foreword from Cody Townsend himself. The beauty of these light tours books is they're prioritizing like low angle terrain and more safe, less exposed terrain. So these are like a really good place to start if you're, investigating backcountry terrain for the first time.
And what I like about it too is actually like today, like in Castles, like I said, it's a zone I don't ski very often, so I don't actually know it that well. But using in the app, like seeing the up tracks allows for you to be on what is kind of known as more of a safe up track, and then you can evaluate from there. Yeah. So like today, what I'm looking at, like actually I want to look at aspect, because aspect I think is going to be super important today. So being that it's aspect, and I kind of think this morning we're going to want to try and get on some east, potentially southeast, if we got a good hard freeze, and get that first thing. But then if it starts to warm up too much, then we're going to want to start to look into more north, northeast, northwest. So I don't know about you, but like, using this Cornholio zone approach, yeah, and kind of heading up here while evaluating some of this alpine, because even in the forecast, it did talk about the harder refreeze being out of the trees, is a better approach to then, if we were to go to Round Valley, you kind of ski through you got to ski through trees, and it's probably going to be gloppy and sticky. I think if we're kind of trying to go to Alpine first and stay there, that'll be our best option for today.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about, but like this has quite a bit of east to it, a little bit of west on that red. I kind of feel like sticking through here.
I think one thing too that I like to evaluate, especially when the conditions are like this, is like if there's a snowtel station nearby.
Yeah.
That can actually show you what the temperatures were overnight. If you go into the guidebook content too, they actually pull in the nearest snowtel stations. There's actually a couple that are within this zone, so you can actually look around a bunch of different places. They're not actually designed for backcountry skiers. No. They're designed for monitoring snowpack for agriculture, and so we have a better understanding of how the rivers will be.
Yeah.
So like these are kind of like a tool that backcountry skiers really latched onto because it can give you such great data in such high places.
Yeah.
So you can see our 24-hour accumulation 0 inches. That's obvious. Our snow depth is 38 inches. And then our average temperatures last night, according to our snowtel station, the high was 58 degrees yesterday, and the low was 36. I think it did get a refreeze last night. It gives us a better understanding of like, we're going to be dealing with some frozen, crusty snow going up to start, but it's very, very quickly going to start melting as the sun starts hitting it, which I can see it's doing right now.
Yeah, totally.
So the up track from where we're at right now, looking like 2 miles and
1,500
vert.
Okay.
So
I mean, that should be
how long do you think that takes?
Hour and a half if we're just barely if we're just going super light. So
cool.
hour and a half, and so 7:30. Yeah, we'll be up there at 9, which actually should be a good time. Hopefully by then, if we get a little bit of warming, we can get some good corn turns.
Sweet.
And we'll make a decision from there.
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Should
we get ready?
Let's get ready.
Let's do it. Let's go ski.
It's gonna be so fun. All right, so we're here at the trailhead. I've never been here before, so making sure my offline maps are ready to go for our trip is definitely gonna be crucial. So double checking them, they've been downloaded for the area that we're gonna be in. And then I'm gonna make sure we turn on our tracker. So when you turn on the tracker, it'll draw like a breadcrumb basically behind you. So that way, like, you know where you've been, you know where you're going, and when you go look back on this day, you can have a track of where you went. We're good to go.
Let's do it. When we get up towards that ridge line, we'll just look at the aspects and what's going to be in the sun and what's not, because I have a feeling what's going to be not in the sun is going to be awful.
Yep.
We're going to be dancing among that window that the Av report talks about, where it's soft enough that it's fun skiing, but then you're out of there before any roller balls or wet loose stuff starts coming down.
Yeah.
So, cool. Keep on moving on. Yeah, we're not on the summit of Castle Peak, but we're on the ridgeline of Castle Peak. I was kind of thinking, so aspect wise, on the way up, it felt decently soft.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe go do a lap kind of down this cruisy, really southeast facing corner. And then as the sun continues to go more westerly, this gives a little more west, and maybe we end up doing that little couloir and we can kind of ski out through there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Our main avalanche concern is the wet.
Yeah, wet
avalanches
loose.
and wet loose, and
so
yeah.
that's where you follow aspect.
Yep.
And you follow the sun and or move away from the sun.
Yeah.
That's what wet loose is, can be really terrifying, but ultimately, like, you can control it better than just about any other avalanche problem with terrain management and aspect management. So
yeah,
that's what we're doing today.
Just racing the sun and trying to find the best snow for the time. So,
and also just go for a light tour.
Yeah.
We've done kind of 2 short little laps on like low angle, fun terrain, getting a sense of the snow, the aspect and whatnot, and gaining confidence in kind of the aspect in the snowpack. And it's still early enough in the day. We're looking at like 11:30 that I think we can kind of stay on a similar but different aspect. There's a steep little line into a chute that looks quite fun, just for like 4 steep turns. Now that, again, we kind of tested out the snow, get a feel for it, and then gain confidence to ski something that's on the steeper side. Go off the guidebook. Starting slow, whether it's in the terms of like decades of learning backcountry skiing or just even on a single day, to me is like one of the most important things in backcountry skiing.
Yeah, and this zone's really great because it has such a great place to build your comfort level and your familiarity with the terrain and just the way the snow is, and
Totally.
And then bigger options where you can ride some steep and pretty epic looking terrain. So
cool. Let's go do that little fun steep zone. We're back.
we made it.
Back to noisy civilization. It's nicer out there.
A little quieter, a little more serene.
But yeah, I mean, essentially what we did today is kind of showing how you can use maps to have an enjoyable day, plan your day, and have a safer day. Like, we got out of there just right. right on time. I
Yeah.
think in another hour or so, those south-facing aspects will be pinballing, and the potential to take out your skis and slide into some rocks gets a little higher.
Sweet. So now we're at the bottom. Stop our track. We can get a better read on our day. Spent 4 hours and 39 minutes outside, 6.4 miles, and we gained 2,500 vertical feet, almost 26. Perfect. So
Yeah.
it's a great day.
Using the slope aspect, slope angle, Vavi report, terrain, just like being able to scout it. Like I don't ski this zone very often, so now I kind of know even more about it. It's like, all right, in the future on a warm day, what do you do? Show up here early, go get some laps in, be done by noon, and yeah, it's awesome.
Mission accomplished.